doing his level best, isn't he? I mean, he's a super player, and you know they've always got a bit of a chance with him in the team. Doesn't seem to give up and just carries on doing his own thing, hoping that he'll get the delivery or the ball in. He'll sniff out a goal out of nothing, as we've seen with their equaliser. But they need to find him a little bit more if they're going to make any real progress and put any pressure on. Yeah, it's 2 apiece, but for Liverpool, it's like, well, we're nearly an hour in, and you know we're still 3 goals to the good.
Yeah, they are comfortable, Liverpool, despite the fact they're having to do a bit more defending now as the second half wears on. Ball into the box, looking for Schick. Takes a touch, flicks it behind him, and there's Milner to clear it out of play for a throw-in. Roma fans behind that goal still waving the flags, trying to inspire their team on to the first European final, or first Champions League final, I should say, since they played Liverpool. The early 80s, as that cross comes in, Kolarov's cross is blocked, and another throw-in for the home side, who are doing pretty well in Serie A this season. Best of the rest behind Napoli and Juventus as the ball's played into the box. Headed clear by Van Dijk. Back it goes towards the penalty area. That's not a good header from Lovren, just straight up into the air. And Nangolan lofts it back into the penalty area once again. El Shawari chases it. It's forced out towards the corner flag. Given back towards Kolarov, who tries to trick, loses possession, and now Liverpool can break. Firmino works it to Salah. Manolas is there ahead of him. Tidies up the danger, goes back to his goalkeeper. It's good defended by the Greek in the end. Yeah,
he's quick, isn't he? And I think that's the reason he's out there tonight. You know, very rangy, and Salah just can't burst past this kid. But you know, when they've scored the goals, they've not really needed to beat anybody for pace. They've just had enough bodies in there, haven't they? That you know they passed the ball well enough that they've created chance. And of course, that second goal, a backward header and from the corner, and Wijnaldum was able to take advantage. But yeah, I think you know Manolas has played pretty well tonight.
Ball into the box. Dzeko brings it down first time, gets the cross in, and it takes a touch, and that takes it behind a couple of Roma players who were waiting for the pullback. Now it's Mane who's going to try and carry it forward. Cuts in past Nangolan again, and then he's going to switch play out towards Salah. Great first touch on the chest of Salah, unbelievable. Then he rolls it in towards Wijnaldum, but it's turned behind for a corner kick. In the end, I think the offside flag actually has gone up against either Salah. It must have been Salah when he brought that ball down on his chest. A fantastic first touch by Salah.
Yeah, incredible. Just hung the shape out there and just collected it off the chest when the ball was played behind him at pace. Brilliant. I'm just thinking about Manolas and what, you know, he's actually doing quite well against Salah tonight. I've watched Varane a lot this season. I think he's having a terrible season, and you know he seems to be the wrong place at the wrong time all the time. He's quick over a long distance, but he's not quick off a standing start. Ramos is not quick, you know, and if Marcelo does his usual, plays halfway down the field, I could see Salah having a field day against that team. Oh, dearie me.
Ball over the top and under. Got there first, didn't he? But flicked towards goal. Just couldn't take it past Karius. He was onside.
Look how quick he is over the ground. I mean, yeah, speedy individual. Robertson can't keep up with him. And he ran straight through into the middle, but he couldn't get the touch he wanted. He's right off his toe end. That just couldn't get a good purchase on the ball. But it's a decent effort, that.
Yes, as you alluded to, he's very highly thought of in the capital. Is under the Turk, who's got supposedly a bright future ahead of him. But dropped from the side tonight, having been anonymous in the first leg at Anfield. As Liverpool win a free kick and work it forward to Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum has just had to slow play down and decides to keep possession. Smart play from the former Newcastle man. Just chipped down the line by Van Dijk. Didn't need to do that, just keep the ball. Liverpool half an hour away now from booking their place in the final against Real Madrid. It's looking very, very good for Jurgen Klopp, who's been to one final as a manager. 2012 Champions League final when he took Borussia Dortmund there. They were beaten by Bayern Munich, 2 late goals on that occasion. Here's under for Roma. runs straight into Henderson, who takes the ball off him. Mane with it now. Liverpool just keeping possession. Slower play from Liverpool as Robertson has it here, left-hand side. Mane. Robertson's continued his run, and nobody's tracked him. To come across in the end. Firmino with it. Good play from Liverpool. Patient build-up. Mane works it to Wijnaldum. Out to the far side for Alexander-Arnold. Puts that low cross in. Cleared away. Chip back into the box. Mane with the header, but he's offside, and he's missed the target in the end. Patient play by Liverpool, though.
Yeah. I saw a little interview with Steve Gerrard at half-time, just saying they need just to calm down, slow it down. You know, they don't want it to be helter-skelter, really. But, yeah, they did pretty well there and still fashioned half a chance. Well, we see another ball into the box, but, again, not quite good enough. Doesn't quite reach Dzeko, and it's been dealt with. Like a little clash of heads in the middle of the park, but referees are happy to let play go on.
Yeah, I think Liverpool looking strong, defending most of the crosses. Here's Nangolan, though, puts that ball in. It's flicked on towards the far post, not cleared. Here's a chance. Great block by Alexander-Arnold. Then the ball loops up onto the net, much to the relief of the Liverpool defenders. El Shaarawy was stretching to reach it, but Alexander-Arnold did as well as he could.
Brilliant flick on by Dzeko, wasn't it? And well, Alexander-Arnold just about dealt with it. The ball hit him on the back of his hand, and for me, that's a penalty kick.
Yep.
If you're defending with your hand, I mean, his hand's up by his face, right? So how is he defending there? For me, poorly. Ball hits him on the hand. I think the referee might be blindsided of that. Again, if you look at what position that the keeper's in at this point, he's actually inside his goal carriers. You know, I've said he's improved, but honestly, he hasn't been great tonight.
Here comes the corner kick, headed away well by Van Dijk, who's done really well winning those aerial battles tonight. Yeah, that should be a penalty. Bayern Munich had a claim for one very similar to that last night, which wasn't given, much to their frustration. Roma didn't appeal for it, though. I don't think anybody really appealed for the penalty. It happened so quickly, I guess.
I think El Shaarawy was on the deck. He was sliding to, you know, get his challenge in, but in the end, he won't know too much about it. You know, he's almost looking down, technique. I need to get my foot on this, and he's looking at that. Next thing, the ball's just not in the net somehow. How did that happen? Well, he doesn't know, and I think the referee was the wrong side of it.
Yeah, it's a let-off for Liverpool. Most definitely. Manolas' ball forward is cut out, and then Manolas is caught, so that will be a free kick. Still Roma 2, Liverpool 2, but Roma creating chances on a regular basis now against Liverpool. Under perhaps felt he should have scored when a ball over the top caught out the Liverpool defence. Under flicked it first time towards goal, but couldn't get enough on it, and it was an easy save for Karius. And then a real goalmouth scramble. Dzeko with the flick on. Trent Alexander-Arnold couldn't clear his lines initially, and El Shaarawy got the shot away. It was blocked, though, by the hand of Alexander-Arnold. Nobody really appealed for it. The referee couldn't see it, and Liverpool get away with one. It remains 2-2 on the night, and Liverpool still on course for the final.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, there's something sort of unsatisfactory about this half from Liverpool's point of view. They have a 3-goal cushion in the game, and you think, well, you know, what do you want of them, really? But they've been a little bit sloppy, is what I'm trying to suggest, and particularly defensively, I don't think they've been great. Henderson on the ball, and backwards is as good as forward at the moment, with Alexander-Arnold picking it up. Now a long ball, looking for Mane. He said he'd back where it came. Yeah, I think, you know, the Roma number 9, and we keep talking about Dzeko, but he's been really good in this second half, and again, you give him enough ball and he's going to hurt you, but here come Roma once more. Yeah,
it's Dzeko, carries it forward, then rolls it out to the far side. Cross comes in, Karius gets a hand to it, then he's got absolutely no idea where the ball's gone. It's still in the Liverpool penalty area. Spectacular, well, an attempt at a spectacular from under, gets it wrong. De Rossi then lifts it back in. He's got to be offside there, Dzeko. The shot eventually comes in, and Liverpool can't quite believe that he wasn't offside. I don't even think Edin Dzeko can believe it. He misses the target. Complete chaos inside the Liverpool penalty area.
He was on.
Yeah.
You know, and only just. And when he spins and turns, he's probably thinking, oh, I'm off. I might as well have a lash. Lashes it wide. No conviction in that, because he probably felt he was off, but he wasn't. So, wow, that was something. Just when he needed to be cool, calm, and considered, probably because all the Liverpool players stopped, he looked like he didn't really go through with it.
Yeah, I think they kind of conned him a little bit there, the Liverpool players, because they all put their arms in the air. One ball down the line, goes out of play for a throw, but that's a big chance for Roma.
Karras is not doing a great job tonight, is he? I mean, under any kind of pressure, he just folds, doesn't he? I've got to say, Real Madrid's Keylor Navas, if he's in goal for them, he really poor last time I saw him as well, making a load of mistakes. So, I'm not surprised Real Madrid in the final. That's not it, but I would say they're lucky to be there, because really they have not been playing that well.
No, they rode their luck last night. In fact, it was Navas who kept them in it. I mean, he was it Juventus, wasn't it? He was really poor against in the previous round, but last night he made some incredible saves to keep them in it. Bayern Munich can feel very hard done by that they didn't go through last night. And I wonder whether Madrid's luck will run out in the final. It will be a really interesting final, one to really look forward to.
I think big teams, champion teams like that, can be really brittle, because they don't expect their players will not be worried about Liverpool, not one job, but that's half their problem. It can happen to any team, as Man City found. They've rolled everybody over this season and tickled their tummies, and then Liverpool absolutely destroy them.
Yeah.
I think it's hard for teams who used to playing on the front foot, as Jacko then with the volley sends it over the top. Teams who are used to winning, all of a sudden are pushed back by this rapier of a team. You don't expect it really, and it's hard to know how to deal with it.
Liverpool have not approached any games with any kind of fear either as well. City, right, will take them on, and Roma absolutely blitzed them, of course, at Anfield, and doing good enough tonight. Okay, they won't have the Anfield factor, which I just don't think gives them an advantage, but certainly they won't be afraid to take on Real Madrid.
I think one of their problems is actually getting to the final. The way it is the Premier League, how hot the competition is, you don't get much of a break, but they can now have a nice break into the final. Get all the players, properly ready for it and prepared. Here comes Milner.
Yeah, Milner carries it forward, edge of the box, lays it off for Mane. Mane to Salah. Salah takes a touch and sets himself, works it to Firmino. Firmino didn't expect it, still gets a shot away. Saved by the feet of Alisson. It's a good stop in the end. It goes out of play for, I think, a throw-in, but nice play by Liverpool. Four of them combining well.
It's offside, wasn't it? But the flag didn't go up. Firmino just as well. That it didn't hit the back of the net. And again, a save by that right foot, the keeper Alisson, who's the Brazilian international keeper. Looks like De Rossi's run his race.
Yeah, Gonalons, the Frenchman, on to replace him.
I mean, there's only Totti really ahead of De Rossi in my mind for, what is Roma about? What do they stand for? Totti was incredible for them, and De Rossi's just been there for donkey's years, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has taken over the captain's armband since Totti retired last season. He's not exactly at the peak of his powers, I'd say, right now, De Rossi. It's been replaced by Gonalons as the second change for Roma. We have gone past the midway point in the second half, and Liverpool looking good for a spot in the final. 2-2 on the night, the lead 7-4 on aggregate.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite something for Liverpool. The idea of a European final is nothing new, but what I would say is that it's a very different climate than it used to be, and to break into the top boys when you seemingly, they never quite went away, did they, Liverpool? Even when they're having quiet seasons. Here's Salah, now finds Firmino, into box he goes, and trying to create an opportunity, but in the end his shot blocked away. Yeah, they were never quite done and dusted, were they? But they had some very quiet seasons, and when the bottomless pits of money at Chelsea, Man City opened up, you just wondered if that may be that. I've read Steve Gerrard's book saying, some other multi-billionaires taking over another club. You just think, that just makes it that much harder again to win a title or to press for Europe.
They've always shown an affinity for Europe, though, haven't they? It's been something they've always succeeded in, it feels like, and Roma are coming forward.
An opportunity, then ball laid back, shot comes in, it's chipped up in the air from Gonalot. Just come on this sub, but well, we'll have easier things to do than hit that in the back of the net, but he's running onto it nicely, and maybe because he feels he's got to chip it past Henderson, but he kicks half the turf up, doesn't he? Never mind kicking the ball. Not exactly a finisher's effort there.
No, outside of the boot, going well wide of the target from the substitute. But yeah, I mean, Liverpool, when they've already been to one European final with Jurgen Klopp, went to the Europa League final where they got turned over by Sevilla.
Yeah, they did. It was a weird game that. You watched the first 10 minutes, you thought, well, how many are they going to win this by? Yeah. It didn't work out in the end, and of course, you know, if you saw, was it League Cup final against Man City, where they, again, he made it. I thought Klopp made an absolute mess of that. Played Coutinho in the midweek before that big game, didn't he? And he got booted all over the place, and just you just thought, really? But like I said, the chance from here is that everyone can recharge their batteries. If they're three big guns now, because they're going to have to wrap them up in cotton wool. I mean, I'd be tempted now to be taking Salah off and, you know, and Mane off, that kind of thing. Maybe the whole three of them, and just say, right, off you go, the rest of them. Those are the three most important players in that club.
Got a big game at the weekend though against Chelsea. I know it's not going to be anything near the final of the Champions League, but they've got to be sure of a top four finish, and I don't know they're going to win the trophy, but yeah, I mean, and I think Salah wants to play because he's in the race for the Golden Boot. He started the last couple of games despite the fact that they've had this semi-final to consider. I think he's knocking at the door telling Klopp that he wants to play. Tough to say no to him, I guess.
Yeah, but I just think he's either his marker Manolas is great, or he's a little bit off it tonight.
Maybe, yeah.
But anyway, Alexander-Arnold ball into the box, very nearly at the feet of Salah. 72 minutes on the clock, and we're talking about the final that Liverpool are going to be in because there's a 3-goal cushion for them, and we don't expect that they're going to give that away. And quite frankly, you know, Roma don't look spent, but I think emotionally a game like this is taking its toll. Position in the game, you know, desperate all the way through. They've played like a desperate teams, and at times it's worked out. For the most part, it hasn't. And the long and short is that they've met their match. You know, Liverpool are better than they are.
Yeah, I think, you know, they had one of those nights, didn't they, against Barcelona, the second leg of that game. It was on the same night as Liverpool played Man City, but I mean, Barca didn't play at all well, really didn't show up, and Roma took full advantage, and you kind of got the impression that that was perhaps their Champions League final, so to speak, to come from 4-1 down and go through, and this has just been a step too far.
Yeah, we talked about Barcelona the season before. Everybody was handing them it, weren't they? Yep. Oh, with a comeback like that, oh, the miracle team. Yeah, right.
Out in the next round.
Yeah, well, you know, miracle teams don't get themselves in that position in the first place, do they? Here is Mane now. His first touch terrible, and in the end, did he slip? Well, he's down, and I don't know what that was. I think he was offside probably, but did the flag go up?
The flag did go up eventually,
and then he slipped after that. Anyway, El Shaarawy looks like he may have run his race. He's tried, and the fans applaud him at least for that. Yeah, and of course we saw Real Madrid very nearly fall down the same hole that Barca fell down in their game against Juve, where at home they were pretty awful. And Mirko Antonucci now coming on for El Shaarawy.
Yeah, they got away with that, didn't they? I've seen Real, you know, at least once in all the knockout rounds, and I thought Paris Saint-Germain were unlucky in the first leg at the Bernabeu. They had so many chances, and if they had taken a couple of them, it would have been a very different story. Same for Bayern Munich, and then you had the controversial penalty call, I dare say, in the game at the Bernabeu, which, well, certainly Juve thought it was controversial.
Yeah, that's right, and I think Michael Oliver's still getting fan mail.
Yeah.
Anyway, here come Roma. The ball spits up at Dzeko, and even he can't bring it under this time. Karras eventually will get that ball in his hands. Well, the time's almost stood still, really. I keep looking at that clock and thinking, well, have Roma got enough time? Well, not really. 40 minutes of regulation play, and then their European adventure is over. And sometimes, you know, you get to this stage of the season as Mane's just chopped down there. Well, that's got to be a yellow card for Florenzi. It's a disgusting challenge, that. And he gets a yellow card. Don't bother, mate. He's trying to drag Mane up. And if he wants now, he should wind down a couple of minutes of the clock. Well, that's the... well, we've got to do something, lads. And that's the reason why you take your big guns off, because these boys are frustrated now. Look at that challenge. I mean, for me, that it could almost be straight red, that.
It's not good, is it? I mean, slow motion makes everything look worse, but off the ground, scissor challenge. I think the fact that Mane didn't make a great deal of it. I mean, he stayed down, but he's back up on his feet and he's okay now. Probably kept Florenzi on the field, because it is a really, really ugly challenge. Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, it probably didn't hurt him that much, and he's back up and he's all right. But it's about the intent. He's 2-footed off the ground. He's nowhere near the ball. For me, that's a straight red. You know, it doesn't matter whether Mane was that hurt or not. You know, it's the intention. Here is Salah now into the box. He finds Firmino's touch is just a little bit too heavy. Then a player goes down. He just bundled into his man once he'd miscontrolled. You know, you've got to be able to mix it up a bit. I think that was quite clever, the way that he tripped his man up there. Firmino just trying to exact his own little revenge on Kolarov. And now picks the ball up, lays it back. Mane closes down. Gonalon in midfield. Now Roma trying to make ground with Florenzi. Back to the right hand side, and maybe an opportunity now. And Antonucci with a little flick on. He's now in the box waiting for it. So too Dzeko. Antonucci gets there, but well, he's almost like a defender. He's almost like the wrong side of that. Roma have the ball back. And again, they're trying to work it, but Antonucci's touch this time lets him down. Liverpool give the ball away. Now maybe a chance. Fazio, and then a shot. Well, Fazio joining in the attacks now. Schick's left foot effort, curl around the top, but was there a slight deflection on the way? No.
Difficult to bend it in first time from there. They're not afraid to try these outrageous bits of skill and attempts at goal, Roma.
I mean, it's a good effort, that. I mean, Schick looks a good player.
He does. He's got tidy feet, isn't he? And he's a big lad. And he was at, I want to say, Sampdoria last year. He was one of Roma's summer signings. I want to say that. I want to say that. I'm going to double check. Sampdoria last season.
Yeah, it's a good effort, that. He's only 21, 22. And,
yeah.
Well, here's an opportunity, but the first touch this time will let them down. And that was under. So they've got some good young kids at Roma. They sure do. They couldn't keep hold of Salah, could they? And you know, maybe you know, they're a club who have to keep balance in the books, if you like. As well, we see a shot from the edge of the area again. It's Dzeko's peeled away. What a fantastic player! I mean, just keeps finding space. I mean, everybody's in the box there, but yet he's got 5 yards.
Yeah, he was underappreciated at Man City, wasn't he? I think, looking at him now, I mean, he's really developed, I think, his game. I think, you know, he's come to a club where he's got to be the main man, hasn't he? And he seems to have relished that role, whereas City didn't know whether he was going to be on the bench or starting week from week, and I think that affected him. But now he is the big dog, if you will, up front for Roma.
Yeah, he sure is. Yep, he's good. Liverpool have got 3 dogs, though, haven't they? And you know, that seems to be more than enough for anybody. Is Mane now in the left back slot, just doing a bit of defending. Wasn't great. And then Golan picks it up, assesses his options, and then he finds the right ball. It's a great ball over the top, a chance and a save from Karius, and then well, the ball is just booted away by Van Dijk. Nangolan hasn't had a good game, but that was a good ball, and in the end I was expecting the back of the net to bulge there for Dzeko.
Yeah, I thought Dzeko had done enough there. He took the ball down really well again. He's got such an excellent first touch, and just did exactly what he wanted with it. Angle was slightly against him, and again Karius, mistake by Alisson, tries to clear it, plays it onto Salah. Salah battling away for it here, and eventually a lunging challenge from Alisson gets it to a teammate. He will breathe a massive sigh of relief after that.
Yeah, talk about heart in mouth time there. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll shimmy past Mo Salah.
Piece of cake.
Yeah. a minute later, is he still here? But nearly disastrous. What a man, it's seen Salah grab another goal. I see people breaking records as once the box dealt with by Lovren. Salah's offside. Yeah, I think they're one or two tired bodies in that Liverpool lineup, but you know what, they've got the job done. I think they're about to make a change. Liverpool, one of those white shirts there.
Klavan, yeah.
Ragnar Klavan is probably going to make 3 centre backs. And although I've seen him play left back this season, and I think they take one of the strikers off. Ball into the box. Out comes Karius. This time he's good. He's had a very mixed game, hasn't he, Karius?
He's not been bad when the ball's been chucked into the box for the most part, but yeah, he's just not convinced you that if Liverpool found themselves under the cosh and had to rely on their goalkeeper, whether he'd keep them in the tie.
No, well, here's Salah offside again. The flag just gone out. He wasn't much in that. He's just trying to get an edge on Manolas because he's quick, but it's not working out. Even then, with the shoulder save, Karius makes a save from Dzeko, but he still flicks it. I want my keeper to keep his hand on the ball, somehow keep it in, pat it into the ground, do whatever he needs to do to keep that ball with him. Everything is just shoveled back out into open play from him, you know. And if I was watching him, if I'm Ronaldo, one of those clever guys who knows, you just think, right, I'm going to get a chance off him.
Got to follow up everything. Follow up everything. If you get a shot on target, you know, as you say, more often than not, it's spilled back out into the penalty area. So something they should look at. Yeah,
at times. I mean, he's probably playing number 9 now, and I don't know if they started Benzema, but they don't necessarily do that. Long ball again. Karius comes out and heads it this time. It was borderline whether he was going to take that ball out. I guess he dealt with it, but again, he heads straight back into open play, so the ball could come back straight over your head.
Time ticking away for Roma in their European campaign. It's still Roma 2, Liverpool 2, so the Reds not far away now from securing their place in the Champions League. The semi-final second leg is petering out. Liverpool have made a change, a defensive one, bringing on Klavan. Roma's chances have dried up. They look to have blown themselves out. The best effort they've had is Dzeko, who has been brilliant for them tonight. Great first touch in the box, gets the shot away from the angle. Karius makes the save, and there's nobody there to follow up on this occasion, but it is looking all over for the Italians, but the Reds close to starting the celebrations of reaching the final.
So a ball just rolled out there. Milner's long ball looking for Robertson, and in the end, Florenzi, Manolas has gone over and got himself booked there. I don't know what that was for, and he wants to have another go now, and he bangs into the referee. Demis Scamena shouldn't have to be doing all that, and I don't know what Robertson did there, but he's got himself a yellow card now, Andy Robertson. I don't really understand what's just happened there, really. Maybe they put the ball further out, but Manolas didn't like it. But anyway,
still going.
Yeah, he needs to shut up, doesn't he, Manolas? He got his yellow card. He's already banged into the referee after he got it. I personally wouldn't take any of that. But I don't think the referee's done himself any favours today. He's had a poor game. Didn't take a grip on it. I don't think you can think, oh, it's a semi-final, so it's different. When you start down that track, you do what Howard Webb does, don't you? And you let those Dutch boys kick the Spanish off their feet until eventually they went and won the game. But it should never have got to the position it did, where he's letting everybody boot everybody. Football's not supposed to be like that, and you could clearly see from Roma early doors the tactic they were trying to boot Salah and kick him out of the game.
Yeah, trying to unsettle Liverpool, weren't they? But it hasn't worked. They've kind of abandoned that tactic too. Well, I suppose the goals have kind of knocked the stuffing out of them, but he had them so fired up, Di Francesco, didn't he? I think that really worked against him in hindsight.
Yeah, ball into the box again. Klavan deals with it this time. He'll try and run that ball out. But Wijnaldum can't quite manage it. Anyway, ball now going to be shot towards goal. Oh, what a strike!
Wow.
Wow, Karius then he's not going to get on the end of Nangolan's right-footed strike. And so 3-2 on the night. We're only 2 goals away from added time. We've got 4 minutes left. We can do it.
Nangolan has pulled another goal back for Roma. They lead 3-2 on the night. They still trail 7-5 on aggregate. What a hit, though, from the Belgian midfielder, who's been one of the poorest players on the park for Roma this evening. Ball just rolled across to him. Nobody closed him down in a white shirt, and from about 23, 24 yards out, he was able to crack one in off the post. Karius, the Liverpool goalkeeper, thought it was going wide, hits the post and bounces in. Nobody celebrates for Roma. They know that they're still a long way from taking this game to extra time. It's now 3-2.
Dominic Solanke has come on for Firmino. Just fresh legs out there. Yeah. I do think that they've been a little bit sloppy. You know, at this late stage, they just cannot invite Roma back in. You will say, "Oh, well, hang on, the job nearly done." But yeah, nearly is a word, isn't it? You know, get it done. Roma 3, Liverpool 2 on the night. 1 or 2 will have lost a few shekels. I thought Liverpool would win the game, and I think they've had opportunities really to do just that. Was there a handball in the middle of the park? According to the referee, yes, there was. So Raja Nangolan, that might be the goal of the tie. And outside his right with the ball coming onto the ball was spinning before it got to him. I think it was almost on the half volley the ball as well. What a sweet strike. And well, Karius made it look great, didn't he? He didn't even move for it, and then
it came through sort of a crowd of bodies, didn't it? And maybe I'm making excuses for him. He must have seen it late because he didn't dive for it, and it didn't like it move that much in the air.
I think he thought that it was going wide.
Must have, yeah.
And I think because he's hit it with a bit aside the outside of his right boot, it's curled it back in. I'd still like to see my keeper with a vain attempt at trying to save it. You know,
like 5-a-side, wasn't it, when they just kind of scrambled across, making a half attempt to get to it.
Yeah, he. I don't know. You know, they've decided that he's better than Mignolet. As well, Milner wins the ball out the field. He drives forward. He's not got the pace to carry this through. Tries to put the cross in, but wait, what's the tied ball? That Manolas cuts inside him. He's looked good tonight. Nangolan, he has kept going. As Roma try and play out from the back now, but time running out. Incredible there, Milner just picking a pocket this late in the day. Spring chicken, but he's been around for donkey's years. Remember his debuts, his thin and wiry 17-year-old. Breeze would take him off the ball, but he's put a lot of beef on the bone. Plenty of experience since then. And there just puts the little foul in to stop Schick's progress. And well, the ball was still rolling while they took the free kick. It's 5-7 on aggregate, which is a funny old scoreline, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I, like you, thought Liverpool would win this game tonight, and they looked comfortable. Free kicks played in. Roma, have been caught offside. So Liverpool will have the ball, but I thought Liverpool, especially when they went 2-1 up, it looked like Roma were dead and buried at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't quite understand how the game's gone like this, because at no stage I felt that Roma have been the better team.
No, me neither. You know, Liverpool have always been in some kind of control. As you said, they play at helter-skelter kind of football. That's what they're best at. But even then, you'd get the sense that if it was tit-for-tat, they'd score one and Roma would score another. But Alisson has made a handful of saves in the second half. The chance to dry it up a little bit. I just wonder whether Liverpool have just taken their foot off the gas, easing down.
Yeah, it looks like that. Solanke just doing a bit of time waste. They've got a yellow card. Oh, he's full of yellow cards now. It's Scamina, because they don't matter. Trying to appease the locals, I suppose. Anyway, ball given away by Florenzi. Now an opportunity. Robertson is going to get chopped down, is he, by Florenzi? He does well, actually. And in fact, that was under, wasn't it? But yeah, they just a bit frustrated out. They're into 3 minutes of added time now, so Well, weirdly enough, we thought the one thing we definitely wouldn't get was any added time, but we're only 2 goals away from what would be the perfect scoreline for another half an hour. But it just has not seemed likely, and we got one fluky goal for Roma, one brilliant goal, and equally, I'd have to say that, you know, they might have scored 5 tonight, because I've not felt Karius at all. He's made a lot of mistakes, as we see now Wijnaldum trying to pick up the ball in midfield, but he's second best at that, and he's dead unlucky days, the Roma player. Kolarov, 2 go for a high ball. It's one of those, isn't it? Both daft for the same ball. If you're the one who loses that and goes down, then you win the free kick.
I don't understand that, because he gets the ball first and Wijnaldum just kicks the bottom of his boot. What is Kolarov supposed to do in that situation?
They both went the same ball, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't understand those decisions.
Alexander-Arnold has had a difficult night. I feel that well, I'm not sure who's the best player down that right hand side for Liverpool. I mean, he's a good young lad and he's got a lot to learn. Klein's not properly back and fit yet, but I don't know. I quite like Joe Gomez as well, but seems like they've put him away. I don't know if he's injured or whatever, but yeah, some thoughts about that. I don't think he played that well tonight.
No, he struggled a little bit, hasn't he? But I kind of think he warrants perhaps one bad game, because he's had some really good ones for Liverpool. And yeah, Gomez is unavailable through injury tonight. Wonder who they're going to, you know, in the final against Marcelo, who would you want playing at right back? It's difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I guess that if you're Mo Salah, you're just going to let Marcelo go and sit in the space that he leaves. As we see half an opportunity now, and well, the claim for a handball. The referee's pointing to the spot. Well, I tell you what, the last action of this game might be a penalty kick. The little ball flicked on the inside, catches the arm of Klavan. But well, I don't know about that. Under claims for it, and the referee's listening. I think the referee's giving this because it probably doesn't count. And there's no doubt he did hit the arm. Anyway, it's an opportunity. Is that Nangolan taking it? Looks like it. Up he steps, smashes it into the back of the net. Karius not saving that. So it's 4-2. One more goal. We've added time.
Roma are 1 away from extra time, because Nangolan has just smashed home a penalty given. Controversially, it has to be said, Klavan judged to have handled the ball, but underflicked it to him from very close range. Not a lot really the Liverpool defender could do. Nangolan steps up, strikes home the penalty. 4-2 to Roma on the night.
Well, they're going to kick off, and then that's all that there's going to be, because Demi Scamina blows his whistle, much to the relief of the Liverpool players who are down. Roma might be upset. They give it a go, didn't they? In the end, it's Liverpool who deserve what they've got over the 2 legs. They were much the better team, and so it will be them that go to the final in Kiev against Real Madrid. And Roma have to be satisfied with victory of the night, but they're out of the Champions League.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in